Only 38% of agricultural commodities value is added to those at source. But we know from our work in UNIDO that 70% of the manufactured value added accounts for the world trade, which means if you do not add value to commodities and export those commodities, it is bad trade. In terms of fertilizer used by our farmers, Africa averaged about 9 kilograms per hectare, whereas on the world average is about 100. We know countries that are using up to 200 kilograms per hectare. What does this imply for Africa? In a global economy, wherein you want to trade with within the global economy, you cannot be competitive if we continue to do business as it is.
When we go further and recognize value chain addition as the starting point to our industrial development, we identify what we must do in order to industrialize. And I ask again, really, what do we really need to industrialize? What do we really need to industrialize as Africa so that we can stop this business of being sources of raw material or source of...
It's very important to realize that we have a very unique situation in Kenya that cannot be compared with everybody else. We have very diverse agricultural zones, where in one part of the country we are producing and throwing away some foodstuff, in other parts it's dry and there is no food. Therefore, one of the things this government has done, which would go a long way into resolving these matters, is infrastructure. Because even if you have got the food in one part of the country, you have got to take it to another part. And therefore, by creating the infrastructure, this problem will be resolved. It's one of the problems of actually resolving the food insecurity situation we see in the country. Because if you know, Kenya feeds on average at any given time between 2 million and 4 million people, whether we have surplus in any commodity or not. If we do farming as a business, we will be able to not only perceive that we have to produce the food, but we have to actually buy the food. I keep telling people who live in Washington and New York, if they knew that milk was coming from a cow, they would not drink it. Yet they have never lacked milk. Same case for some of our people here. We must make them to know that you really don't have to produce to feed. You have to make sure you have got the resources to get what you need to buy so that you can feed. So all those put in place, those are some of the things we shall be discussing as we do our our next medium-term implementation plan.